Okay, what's up, guys? Let's talk diet. Let's talk about what's going on right now in the world of my progress log slash video logs. Right now I'm about 6 months post my last show. Had a powerlifting meet about 2 months ago. Took about 2 weeks after the powerlifting meet where I hit 270 and I felt really heavy. I kept eating just to do some family stuff, you know, interact with people without feeling guilty and eat a little bit more food. Of course, the powerlifting drove me to get to a higher weight, so I just went up in foods, and by the time I got closer to the meet, quality of food wasn't so good. So what I like to do is reset, because I hit about 270 and my 270 is, you know, too much. Even though I'm 6'1", 270 was hard. So to bring it down, I started carb cycling. This is my 4th week of carb cycling, 4th week in a bit, and it's been quite a journey. So I made a Instagram post about it, and what I pretty much said is that, you know, dieting's tough, and that the first little bit of the diet is always the most difficult. So you have to kind of move past the first couple weeks of the diet, move into the 5th, 6th week, and when you're in the 6th week of the diet, that's when you start seeing things take shape. And you know, if you're a bodybuilder, competitive, you know, you might want to take into consideration that you're already kind of lean and you might not be at a place you want to be. So what you would have to do at that point is really focus on where you want to be and allocate enough time, usually 14, 20 weeks. So you don't really start seeing the changes you want until, say, week 6 or 7. Anyways, we're on week 4. I've been doing a 4 on, 1 off, 4 on, 2 on, 4 on, 3 on. This week's probably going to be a 4-2, or it's a 5-2. And I just go by my body, by my feel. Today was my carb up day, but I'm taking a lot. I'm gonna have one big meal. I did have one big meal this afternoon where I consumed about 200 grams of carbohydrates and rice, and that's gonna be it. So from here on in, I think I'm gonna ride on a 4. We'll see how it's going. 4 days without carbs, mostly egg whites, chicken and beans, avocado, eggs. I'll throw in the fat sources as it comes. I really go gauge by my body because I know how quickly I'm burning, how much energy I'm expending, or, you know, an estimate of how much energy I am expending, and then how flat I'm getting. So those are the factors that really make me decide how I'm gonna do my carb up next. Anyways, so hope this was informative, and I'll keep. What's up, guys? So today I thought I'd make a video on, well, I continue my last video because we didn't post it yet, on the diet I'm doing. But right now I majorly messed up my back Friday. Yesterday wasn't so bad. Today's a shit show. So I'm using this, guys. If you need to stretch out, like, let's say you ever have a day, and I learned this from, you know, a ton of athletes and trainers throughout the years. You have a day where you wake up and you just can't even put on your socks. Now, I think it's common practice to think you're messed up at that point and you need to see a doctor. But in reality, you can really circumvent this issue by just doing a little bit of foam rolling. And it's happened to me a number of times where I've, you know, done this and I've gone to see my RMT and I was better. But when you can't see your RMT, you know, it's best to be accountable and take care of the problem itself. So right now I've been rolling all day because it was okay yesterday. Still, I was locking up a couple times when I was walking. I didn't really go too heavy. I didn't do any lower back stuff yesterday. I did back and lower back on Friday, hence why I'm here foam rolling right now. So just to show you guys, oh shit. So still a little bit tender, but I can bend again. So we're using a foam roller and we're using a lacrosse ball. So get one of these, get a foam roller, roll out for at least, you know, 15 minutes, 4 times on the day where you feel the worst, and I guarantee you'll be functional by the end of the day. So we're still carb cycling. Today's a super flat day, and I'm not really eating any carbs. I haven't had many fats. Today is my super low day, so not a lot of fun, but I'll keep you guys posted and we'll continue this vlog later. So yeah, so we're done our workout, and I did that foam rolling thing. This is again my low carb day, and my back was completely messed up when I came in. So guys, foam roll, use a lacrosse ball or whatever ball you can use for fascial release. Miracle. I couldn't put on my pants this morning, and here I am, you know, great pump, feeling awesome in the gym. So that's my progress log for today. Again, today was low carb, actually zero carb, should I say, and it's mostly been egg whites and protein powder, and really low fats today. I'll transition into some fats tomorrow. Like I said, if I'm looking good, I'm gonna keep my calories as low as possible. And people may say that's not sustainable, but you know, I think John Meadows does it and a couple of other guys, and they've had great results. In fact, I heard an 80s pro, you might have heard of him, Mr. Padilla, came in a show on a chicken wing and an egg for 4 weeks. I'm not saying it's smart, but I'm saying, and he was shredded and huge. So listen, anything sustainable, guys, like short term, you know, low cal. I like to cycle my foods and then restore the glycogen. Like today, you know, I'm feeling nice, full, a little stringy, but you know, like all in all, if I was to do a prep, I would probably approach it with this technique again. I really feel great doing this. First couple weeks were shitty. It's psychologically, you know, it's difficult psychologically when you're having, by day 3 of low carb, I do feel crappy, and then, you know, back up. So you have one day of feeling flat, but you'll make up for it. So enjoy these progress logs, guys. Kind of a big deal videos. I'm gonna wrap it up for this week. Probably join in on my next carb up day unless something interesting happens. Gonna get more 613 bodybuilding videos. I've been approached by 3 people I need to make videos for. Yeah, we're gonna have. All right, guys, so new week. My back is still kind of messed up. So this is my secret to weight loss. This is where we go. I'm kidding. We don't go to the Bernstein. We're gonna go see Ian Kasipley. He's right by 2430 Hunt Club. This is where Mr. Ian is located, at Align Massage Therapy. So yeah, no Bernstein diet. So to follow up, we're back from Ian's, and we did some trigger point therapy, fascial release. Ian works primarily on my SI. That seems to be the problem right now, and you know, my hip flexors are out. But I wanted to talk about recovery, and I wanted to advise people to, you know, seek out a good RMT, and if need be, take recovery in their own hands. Because as a bodybuilder, I know, and I know for other bodybuilders, when it comes to recovery and rehab, we're very good at being proactive and also taking recovery into our own hands and making it our priority and our responsibility. Now, as a professional, I work in rehabilitation, and I see people not take accountability for the recovery, and I think some of it's due to anxiety and fear that, you know, doing exercises will hurt them, but that's a psychosocial thing, and that's the cycle that happens when people actually get injured or have an injury. There's anxiety, there's depression, there's all types of things, but from a bodybuilder's perspective, we kind of look at it as a setback temporarily and something we need to work around. And in turn, when we look at it that way, we also look at ways that we can help accelerate the process. And we understand that these methods like foam rolling and trigger release and RMTs and taking the appropriate approaches to recovery is a very active process, and it's not something that's passive. So, you know, like training, you've got to be active in every component of the process. And this is a very big component, especially as you get older in your training. You got to take into consideration that you will be getting injured, and you need to find strategies to approach, how you're going to deal with injury. Anyways, I highly recommend fascial release and trigger point and, RMT, foam rolling, get a lacrosse ball, stretch out, do your stretches. I'm guilty of not being not stretching enough and not being active enough in stretching. So I'm better at being reactive than proactive, and that's one of my problems. That being said, I've taken some ibuprofen for this crap, and I'm of the opinion that painkillers do nothing but make you feel kind of funky, which is cool if you're into feeling funky. But, I don't find that they really help with the pain. And, that being said, I've seen a lot of people who have sustained injuries, and they'll tell you the same thing, the Lyrica, the medication, unless, it's blocking specific nerves that are being pinched. Sometimes it helps, but very rarely does it help. My point being is the drugs don't help nearly as much as the physical recovery and the physical modalities that you can apply to yourself, like the foam rolling and the lacrosse ball trigger point therapy. I'll tell you, I took some ibuprofens, nada. I do rolling on the foam roller, and then I take my lacrosse ball, roll out on that, and I'm almost 90% better. So, hope you guys learned something from this video, and that's it.